Are you searching for the perfect, budget-friendly deadbolt smart lock for your home? In today's video, we're going to be diving into the Aqara U50 lock to see if it truly stands out as the best budget option on the market today. We're also going to be comparing it to its bigger sibling, the Aqara U100 lock, and help you decide if the $80 discount on this model makes it worth it. So stay tuned to find out why the Aqara U50 might be the smart lock that you've been searching for. Hey there neighbors, I'm Ryan the Tech Guy and welcome to this Smart House. If you're passionate about smart home technology, then you're in the right place. So today we're going to be taking a close look at the Aqara U50 lock and see if its affordable price tag packs enough features to be a great choice for your home. So earlier in the year, I did a full review of the U100 lock, and if you're interested in more information on it, then check out that video right after this one. You'll find links above or in the description. So let's dive right in and see if this lock is not only a great budget option, but a strong contender in the smart home market. So let me make things easy for you. To start things out, the biggest difference between the U100 and the U50 is the fingerprint reader. The U100 has it and the U50 doesn't. But don't run off just yet, there's a lot more important information to learn about the U50. So just like the U100, the U50 lock boasts a sleek and modern design, fitting seamlessly into most home decors. So as you can see here, these locks look extremely similar. The biggest difference is the missing fingerprint reader on the U50. They're both constructed of sturdy metal and plastic. You will notice a slight variation in the color between the 50 and the 100. I say the 100 has more of a space gray color, where the 50 has a matte black color. And there is a lighter gray color variant of the U100 out there as well. Now of course, this lock is designed to replace an existing deadbolt, and it has a lot of flexibility on different door sizes that it can fit into. But in the box, it does come with a nice guide if you are going to be drilling out a hole for the lock. Of course, this being a lock, it has to be rated to handle being outside in all seasons. The outdoor part of this lock is rated IP67 for water and dust resistance. And it can operate in temperatures from -31 to +150, which is better than some locks that I've looked at in the past. Of course, the inside unit doesn't have those same specifications, but it should be inside your home. Now, the main standout of both the U100 and the U50 are the multiple ways that you can unlock them. So on the U50, you can unlock your door using physical methods like a 6 to 10 digit code on the keypad here on the front. Using the 2 included physical keys, you just actually have to open the keyway here below, or even an NFC card, which is sold separately. If you do want to go the route of physical keys, you can actually take the U50 and get it rekeyed. So if you have other locks that match it, or you want to buy multiple U50s, you can have them all keyed the same. Now it is worth knowing that some users have reported success getting the U100 rekeyed, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to do that. So if that's a big difference for you, then you'll need to go with the 50. In addition to those physical methods, both locks also support unlocking with the Aqara app, Apple HomeKit, Apple HomeKey if you're using a compatible iOS device, your favorite voice assistant, and Matter if you have a compatible Zigbee bridge or hub. Now, as I mentioned before, with the U100, you gain access to the fingerprint reader, which lets you associate a person's fingerprint for quick unlocking. I find this really useful for little ones. But I feel both locks provide versatility and security, but cater to different user preferences. Now, both locks are powered by long-lasting AA batteries. There's actually 4 of them included in the box. This ensures you won't have to worry about frequent replacements or taking a battery out to charge it. But the lock does include a low battery alert, so if you're ever caught off guard, you'll get notified in the app. Now, if you do go ahead and ignore all the alerts and you find your lock dead, you can connect a battery bank to the lock to give it an emergency power boost via the USB-C connector on the bottom of the outdoor unit. Now, both smart locks support Bluetooth and Zigbee connectivity, allowing you to seamlessly integrate with your existing smart home setup. You can monitor and control the lock locally over Bluetooth from your smartphone. Or if you want to add one of Aqara's hubs, like the M2 or the recently released M3, you can do the same thing via the Aqara app remotely, adding an extra layer of convenience and security. Plus, you can get alerts when you're away from your house. And if you haven't already seen my review on the M3 hub, you can check it out right up here. One thing to note, HomeKit, Matter, and voice assistants all require a compatible Aqara hub. So real quick, before we move on to the installation tips, If you've gotten any insight out of today's video, all I ask is that you give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe for more great smart home content. Now, let's jump into some installation tips. Now, the U50 lock installs identically to the U100 lock. So if you need a detailed instruction, you can check out my other video on the U100, or I've got a link to the official Aqara installation video down below. But as someone who's installed a bunch of smart locks in the last year, here are a few installation tips to get you started. The box comes with pretty much everything you're going to need to get it installed. There are extra screws and strike plates in the box that not every installation is going to need. Now for most users, you're going to only need to remove the deadbolt lock with the inside and outside part and the deadbolt itself. Another helpful tip is if you have painter's tape, you can use it to hold the outdoor unit on the door so you can screw the backing plate in without having to hold it with two hands. You also want to make sure you get the wire routed under the deadbolt, that way you won't get it pinched when you seal everything up. Once you have everything buttoned up, but before you tighten the last screws down, make sure your inside and outside units are level and that the locking mechanism can lock and unlock smoothly. This will prevent future headaches and keep your batteries from wearing out so fast. Now, when taking the thumb turn cap off, you can use the included spudger tool, it's in the box, or a butter knife and place it in the slot on either side to pop off the cover. But make sure you take the outer cover off first. Once the lock is installed and everything's tightened up, we can go ahead and jump into the Aqara app to get it set up. So adding the lock to your Aqara app is super easy. All we have to do is press the plus button in the top right hand corner and click Add Accessory. Then on the lock under the cover, you want to press the Set button. Typically, your phone will go ahead and find the lock if it's within range. If not, you can scroll down and find it on the list. There is a helpful installation guide in the app if you want to follow along. Then, after the lock is found, it will get paired to your phone, and then you can go through the calibration procedure. This is super important so the lock knows when the door is shut, so it can activate the auto locking feature. Once the lock is added to your phone, you can click on the hub icon and have it bound to your existing hub if you have one in your home. Then, once it's bound to your hub, you can easily add the lock to another Matter compatible assistant. Now, since I already had my M3 hub set up, it automatically added the U50 lock to Home Assistant as a child device. So one quick note, when you do add it to a Matter controller, you're only going to get the status of the lock, its battery level, and the ability to lock and unlock. You don't get information like who unlocked the door and how to set the different codes. You have to do that through the Aqara app. So once we're in the app, we can do simple things like unlock and lock the door by pressing here. You can check the battery status and whether or not the lock is locked. You can see below here we've got the Bluetooth status, the hub status, and whether or not you have away mode turned on. Below that, we can set a temporary password, which can either be a one-time password, which is a password that is used one single time and then it expires, or you can set a periodic password, where you can set a password that can have different times of day that it's available. So you can set a password that's available every day from different date and time periods. This is great for guests, or if you happen to be running an Airbnb, you can easily assign a random date code and send it right to the user. Below that, we have our user management, which lets us go in and set different users. And these, of course, can be admins who can log into the app and make changes, general users, which just have the ability to lock and unlock the door, and then temporary users, which can be, again, time-bound, where they only have a set amount of time that they can actually access your home. So this is where all the periodic password users go. And then below that, we have the logs, which tells you whether it was locked or unlocked, and if it was done with a PIN code, you can tell who actually unlocked it. Then if we click the three dots, we'll go into settings, and we can see some of the options that we have. We can rename the lock here at the top, change its location in the app, access technical information here at the bottom and see if there's a firmware update available for it. We can set how loud the volumes and notifications are. You can set up the lock to automatically lock out if too many failed attempts happen. You can set up auto lock, where the lock will automatically lock itself when the door is shut. You can also set up remote auto locking, where if you did send an unlock command remotely and you didn't open the door, it would automatically relock after a period of time. Two important settings under the remote unlock are the remote unlock feature, which if this is not enabled, then you cannot unlock the door from outside your home. And then the unlock via automations. So if you wanted to set up an automation with your hub, this enables an automation to unlock the lock. So if you do have a security concern, you could disable this and then automations would no longer be able to unlock your door. Night latch is a cool feature. You can unlock the door normally, but it only allows admins or a cell phone connected over Bluetooth to open the lock. This is a nice way to limit who can get into your house after hours. If you are an Apple user and you want to add this to HomeKit, you can use the pairing code here on the inside of the lock mechanism. If you do enable that, then you can use Apple Home Key for quick access on your iPhone or an Apple Watch. Now that we've covered the key features, installation tips, and a quick app tour, let's discuss my overall thoughts on this budget-friendly smart lock. So starting out, I feel the Aqara U50 lock offers an impressive value for its price point, delivering all the essential smart lock functions without breaking the bank. With its sleek design, multiple keyless entry options, and a robust security feature set, it's an excellent choice for those looking to upgrade their home security on a budget. Now, the lock retails at $150 US, making the U50 significantly more affordable in comparison to the U100, which comes in at $230 US. Now be sure to check the pinned comment for any sales updates that I get. Now I feel this $80 savings could be the deciding factor for many, making the U50 a more appealing option over sticking with a traditional lock. You gain a ton of extra functions and peace of mind for a fairly low price point. Now, while the U100 lock includes premium features such as the advanced thumbprint reader, the U50 still holds its ground by offering pretty much everything else at a lower price point. So if you're seeking great performance and reliability without that premium cost, I think the U50 is a solid contender. Plus, on their standard retail prices, you could get almost 2 of these for the same price point as that lock. But make sure to check out the sales when you compare these two, because sometimes these locks are quite a bit off. I think right now, the U50 lock is around $20 off and the U100 is around $40 off. So who should pick the U50 lock? Now, obviously, this is a great choice for a budget-conscious consumer. If you want to enhance your home security without really spending too much, or you want to take the first step into a smart home setup, then the U50 lock is a great choice. Also, if you're an Apple Watch or iPhone user, you might not even need the fingerprint feature. Simply use the HomeKit feature of your phone or watch for easy access to your house. Now looking at some of the drawbacks, if you do need a more sophisticated biometric option like the fingerprint reader, then the U100 is the better choice. This is great for families with young children or potentially the elderly. The fingerprint reader can really be helpful. Younger kids like my twins would definitely struggle with the code, but can very easily learn to use the fingerprint scanner. Plus, if you have a lot of folks that visit your house, like grandparents or cousins, then you can give them easy access without having to remember one of a million codes. So overall, I feel the Aqara U50 lock stands out as a top choice for those seeking a budget-friendly smart lock. It combines essential features, ease of install, and reliable performance, making it a worthy investment for any smart home. While it might not have all the advanced features of the U100 or some of the other add-ons like doorbells or cameras, like some previous models that I've looked at, it does offer a substantial value and functionality at a very competitive price point. So if you're in the market for your first smart lock or are an Apple user, the U50 is a great choice. Another big thank you goes out to Aqara for sending this lock over for me to take a look at this week. If you are interested in picking up one of these locks, then all I ask is that you check out the links that I have down in the description. Any purchase goes to help support the channel, and it lets Aqara know you got some great information from this video. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I really do try to answer every question that's asked. Now, if you're looking for other smart lock videos, I've got a whole playlist right over here. In addition, I've got my entire Aqara catalog of reviews right over here. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking my face right here. Thank you again for joining me today, and until next time, stay smart and stay secure.